There are 3 ways to import your inventory items into Chefsheet. In order to use the importers, you must first create an inventory sheet by pushing the New Inventory Sheet button. From within the inventory sheet or from here, press Import Inventory Items. From here, you can use the Import Wizard, the Cut and Paste form, or you may choose to download and then upload a CSV template. The Import Wizard works well for order guides or if you're exporting your data from some other software, such as a POS system or one of the older style inventory programs like ChefTech. Consider the wizard when you need to make some changes as you import, when your data is not already formatted columns consisting of item, unit, vendor, and category, or if you need to combine 2 cells into one, such as product name and brand. The cut and paste tool works great if your data is already formatted into columns and just needs to be pasted into these different fields. You can also use the cut and paste form to type new items without cutting or pasting. You can enter 1, 2, 10 items at a time. It's a fairly fast way to enter items when the data is well formatted or if you're typing from scratch. If you need time to work on your upload on your computer's desktop, you can download the same template you see in the cut and paste form into Excel or some other spreadsheet. Work on your data on your computer, save it, return to it as you need, and then either upload or just cut and paste that data directly into the cut and paste form when you're ready. It's generally not a good idea to leave unsaved work in your browser window. You should plan on pasting and importing as you go. If you do need to save your work and work on it over time, consider downloading the template and working on your desktop. With all 3 options, each time you process and upload, the items are added to and do not replace the existing items in that inventory sheet, meaning you can keep adding through different imports as you go. So if you have 10 items ready now, go ahead and import them and upload the additional 50, 60, 100 whenever you're ready. To use the wizard, first take a look at your CSV or your Excel document that you wish to upload. Here we have a pretty typical Sysco order guide, and we scroll over and we start to find the information we need. We have product IDs, we have item names, we might want the pack, we have the units which we need, we have brand names which we may want to use, we have prices which we'll definitely want to use. But this is not neatly formatted and ready to be pasted. We want to combine the brand name with the item name, and we do not have Sysco, the vendor name, repeated all the way down this entire form. The first thing we need to do is save this as a CSV. In Excel, we do File, Save As, and select CSV as our format. Once we have the CSV saved, we start the wizard and choose our file. Now here, if the box is ticked, Chefsheet will expect to see header names, a row of labels across the top of your CSV. If your data just starts somewhere near the top and there are no header names, untick that box. You can see the picture of what header names look like here. Now we see the fields that Chefsheet will import. The ones with asterisks are required. A name, a unit, a vendor, and a category are required. We can also upload product IDs. We can put things into specific rooms. We can upload the prices. We can upload PARs, and we can even add quantities at this point, although belays the point of uploading to count later. From the drop-down menu, you'll see all of the columns in your CSV. Find whatever you wish to be the name. Here it says name, butter, solid, unsalted. Product ID. What is the product ID? This actually says product ID. It may not. It might say ID or it might say product number, but whatever you choose to enter into that field, this will be the product ID. Quantity we're going to leave blank. Unit we find here. Room we're going to assign by moving items out of the no room later. Price. PAR we're going to set later. How to combine 2 columns from your CSV into one field in Chefsheet. Click Type a field, use multi-columns. Click Add Columns. Find the first column in order that you wish to add, description in this case. Repeat with the second column you wish to add, brand. You can see the column name populating in box 2. You can keep doing this, adding as many columns as you like. However, be aware that space is limited. This is probably best used if you have unit and pack that you wish to combine into unit, or item and brand that you wish to combine into item name. If something like your room name or perhaps your vendor name is not included in your order guide, click Type Field, use multi-count. Whatever text you enter here will be assigned to every item that you import on this pass with the wizard. So every item would be put into the room bar. Just like with the other importers, if the room bar already exists, it will be added to that room. If the room bar does not exist, a new room will be created. To review, The left side means from the top to the bottom CSV, the field can be found in a column of your CSV. If you need to make changes such as combining two columns of your CSV or replacing or adding data to your CSV, you do so by enabling type or use multi-count by clicking this box and saying it is now this plus this instead of this. Click the orange import file and all of your data should show up in your inventory sheet in about 3 or 4 minutes, depending on the number of items you're importing. How to cut and paste your items using the cut and paste form. You can paste things in rows from side to side or in columns. However you like, each item must have a name, a unit, a vendor, and a category. Note that although you only see 7 rows, this form goes on forever, and you can paste thousands of items here. For those who are not brand new to Chefsheet, Chefsheet no longer requires that you use a set unit list. You can use any unit name you want when adding items to Chefsheet. The room, vendor, and category fields will either be created new if your vendor, category, or room does not exist, or if one already exists by the same name, will be matched and used. For example, if you've already used the room bar, and then the room bar is mentioned in the template, those items will be added to the room bar. If you have not used the room bar 2, a bar 2 room will be created, and you'll see that with all your inventories. You can add as many as 1,000 items at one time using this form. If you're not ready to add all of your items at once, don't worry. Every time you use an import, it'll be added to that existing inventory. So if you add 100 items now and 100 items tomorrow, your inventory will have 200 items in it when you're done with the second round of importing. Items not assigned to a room will be placed in the no room, which is like a room but without a name. Since Chefsheet Mobile for Android, iPhone, and iPad, available in Google Play and the Apple Store, lets you count items room to room, it's best to place all of your items in the rooms now. If an item needs to be in 2 rooms, you can either add it twice in 2 different rows here, or you can use the copy feature within the inventory room. Here we have a vendor order guide as seen in Excel. We would start by copying all the item names and pasting those into the name field. We then just continue to fill out this form, taking next the item prices, units. You may want to use the copy and paste feature built into your browser to speed up adding things like vendors and categories. Notice that the details for the item must line up in the row. When you're ready, click the Import Template button. Now I will show you how to do pretty much the same process in Excel on your own computer by downloading the template. Choose a template for your computer, Windows or Mac. Open the template into Excel or another spreadsheet program. Notice the format of the template. Here you can enter the name of the item. In this column, if you wish, you can enter an initial count. Here you enter the unit. Here you set the room name of your item. If you use a room name that exists in your Chefsheet, your item will be placed in that room. If the room name is new, a new room will be created. To count an item into multiple rooms, you can add it multiple times, multiple lines of the same item with different room names, or you can copy the item or the room using the copy room function that we saw earlier. Here you set the price of the item. Here you can set the par. Here you set the vendor and the category to the right. Note that the green columns are required. The import will not complete without all of the green columns being filled in. The white columns are optional. These fields you can enter at a later time. There are instructions of how to do this in tab 1 of the spreadsheet. The quickest way to import your data is to copy and paste big chunks from your existing spreadsheets. This process only has to be done once per department, probably will take about half an hour. Once you have all of your food, liquor, wine, and supplies in Chefsheet, they will always be there, and this will never have to be done again. Take your existing inventory, or whatever format you have, and just begin to copy. I'm going to begin by copying the selection of categories. You can copy and paste in any order you wish. You can copy all of the data at once or copy in small chunks. You may find it simpler to do this in smaller chunks. I will copy the purchase prices because I have them, although the price is not required. The appearance of the fonts and the text size does not matter, only that the data lines up horizontally to the item and vertically to the information in the sheet. Note that the order of items does not matter. You can sort your items into the order you wish in each room after the import. We can set the rooms during the import process if we wish. Here I'll leave the rooms blank and set them after the import. Now we're ready to import our template into Chefsheet. Select Save As and choose the CSV, comma-separated value format. There may be more than one CSV type. Choose the most general you can see. Save the file somewhere you can find it easily later. Excel will prompt two questions when saving a CSV. Choose OK and Yes. Return to Chefsheet and click the Choose File button locating your template and click the blue Upload File button. You can now see the inventory with your list of inventories. Click the inventory name and you can see the items that you imported. You can now use your edit function to change an item's room, or the copy inventory room function to move large amounts of items from one room to another. You can move all of the items from the no room into one room, uncheck and select the various items you want to move, and if you need to move an item into duplicate rooms, simply repeat this step from the new room and copy it into the duplicate room. You can use the import function to create a brand new inventory or to add items to an existing inventory. To add items to an existing inventory, simply enter the inventory, click the import inventory function, and repeat the steps from before. There is another tutorial that will show how to add items without importing one by one, as well as a tutorial on general functions and features, how to use the mobile app, and reporting.